Welcome back to the channel. So, it's been Christmas recently and we've been pumping out tons of Christmas videos. But in this video, we're going to go back to our roots with Minecraft again, but we're going to be making a Christmas themed mod for Minecraft. So what I'm going to be doing in the video is completely starting from scratch and making custom mobs, structures, biomes, and different items and blocks in the game to make a completely Christmas themed mod. But what's more is this isn't going to be an entirely fresh mod. This is actually going to be an update for the mod that I'm working on that I'm going to be releasing soon to you guys on this channel. So I've been working on a mod recently called the Winter Update, which completely overhauls many of the winter and icy frozen biomes in the game to give them a little bit more love and make them more interesting. But this is going to be a Christmas update for that mod, and I'm going to add some new biomes and Christmas themed content into it in time ready for Christmas. Now the goal is to try and release this mod maybe at the end of this month or next month, which will be after Christmas, but I want you guys to see just how we actually make this mod and creating the Christmas update throughout this video. So we're going to be making new mobs, so we're going to have to make new models, textures, blocks and items for all of it, and it should be pretty fun to start from step 0 all the way to the finish. So let's get into the video and let's make this mod. So we've created a few various other mobs. I decided that one mob which I'd like to add, yet again another bad guy. I don't know why I keep creating evil NPCs and evil mobs, but for some reason I decided to create a Grinch mob, because if you think of the greatest villains in terms of movies, the Grinch just kind of tops them all, and he's obviously a fictional character created by Dr. Seuss, but he's just kind of one of those Christmas villains that everyone knows of. Everyone knows of the Grinch, everyone knows of the movie and the new animation, and I just decided it'd be pretty cool to put the Grinch in the game. Partly due to the fact that when I was recording a recent video, the top 10 Minecraft Christmas add-ons for Bedrock Edition, I did find a really nice looking Grinch mod which I actually really enjoyed playing. Now the first version of the Grinch which I made didn't really look good at all. He was just way too blocky, and I kind of went through many different decisions of how I wanted this guy to look. I decided he was really blocky at first, but then he looked kind of like a fish character off SpongeBob, and then at one point he looked like Patrick Star off SpongeBob. Even with the colours right now, you can see he just looks like Patrick. He looked like some weird like flounder fish off the SpongeBob cartoon, so he went through a lot of renditions, and I decided that having him look really blocky and stocky was just not the Grinch, because the Grinch is quite tall and slender. So I decided to change that a little bit, and you can see when he doesn't have the texture, the actual base model itself, although it looks like a good mob, he doesn't really look like the Grinch at all. But don't worry about this will change momentarily. As you can see, I'm just changing the pivot point of the fins on the head so that I can move them to make them kind of wave back a bit, and I'm going to pan the arms to the left and right to actually make them have the effect of kind of like arm swing. And you'll see as I change the sizes of some of the shapes of the body and shapes of the limbs, the limb locations have to move back and forwards, and then I have to keep changing the rotation points, aka the pivot points, on all of the arms and legs, because I just can't decide where I want to put them, what size they need to be, and how they need to operate. So there's a lot of fooling around with things like that when you make mods, guys, but this is just all part of the process when you want to make a Minecraft mod. Now there's a lot of hours which went into this mod. I think the mod total was around 3 hours 30, and I think managing to cut this video down to around an hour or so is probably the best outcome, because this mod took so long to create, because so many models were actually created from scratch, so many custom textures were made, and obviously the idea process as well. So we're looking at a bit of a better model right now. He's a little bit more slender, there's some more shape to him, and he actually looks more like he could be the Grinch. Obviously this is only the first stage of it. When we actually create the model, we also need to create the texture to it too, and a few other various things on the model. Now the texturing process is one of my favourite. When you finally make the model, you can put the colours on it and put the model to the test. Does the model have good shape? If it doesn't, why? Why does the texture not look good? Probably because the model doesn't look good. So everything needs to be in place for this process. So let's use a few different shades of green and just experiment with things and try to make them look quite good. I think honestly the texture of this model I could have done a lot better in retrospect, but it turned out good enough and I was quite happy with its turnout in game. We're going to make the Grinch happy, even though usually being a Grinch is just being miserable, but we're going to make the Grinch happy because this is Minecraft. But we're going to have him have those evil alien looking eyes which kind of arch over, so you know that even though he's smiling, it's kind of like a sinister smile because he's got some tricks up his sleeve and he's ready to strike. Now he does look like the Grinch, but he also looks like he could be an alien. I'm definitely going to shade the colours of the yellow eyes to be a little bit lighter green so they look better, and we're going to give him those kind of arching eyebrow looking eyes over as well. So another thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some claws to him and make those claws on the sides of his arms and on his feet. I don't know if he has these in the movies. I especially think his claws are a lot smaller than these, if he does, but these are just to make the Minecraft version of this mob just look cooler because his arms just look really boring and they needed some more colour, and so did his legs too. So we're going to shade these on the inside and outside, and then we're going to put them on the front of his feet as well, and it just makes the mob look a little bit more dangerous and cooler. So as you can see, this is the texture for the Grinch. I think it turned out pretty decent. Although he doesn't look good as some of the other Grinch mods out there, I was happy with how he turned out, and the fact that we made a custom model was good enough for me. So let's add a few custom animations to the Grinch so his arms and legs work, let's import the texture, and let's create the mob in mcreator. So we're going to call him the Grinch, give him the texture and model which we've just created, and make the spawn egg green, and we're going to give him around 200 to 250 health, make him drop presents when you defeat him, and we're going to have a look and see the particles which we're going to spawn around him. We're going to add a cloud around him because it's kind of like he's got a dark cloud in his head because he's just miserable, and we're going to give him some hostile properties. We'll make the texture a little bit more varied so he looks better. And this is the Grinch in game. He has a cloud behind him because he's just angry all the time and he's just cheesed off with everything. But he runs really fast, so he could just steal your presents, jump into Whoville, take everything and just sprint away, and you would be none the wiser and you'd never be able to catch him. And he kind of has some Enderman particles coming off that cloud as well, but I think that just makes everything look even cooler. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed me making this Christmas mod, then make sure to subscribe if you're new and like the video, and turn on notifications for more awesome Minecraft videos. I'm actually going to be bringing a video next week, probably, or the week after, where I make your Minecraft mods. So if you want me to make your mod ideas, then drop a comment below in this video and tell me what your ideas are for new mobs and creatures to be added to the game, and maybe I'll feature your idea in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.